We are now day 72. And today I'm going to give you a little insight of what it's like living in this van. So although I'll start off with the usual working on the van, I will later go and cook a steak and show you my sleeping arrangement. So I'm going to take you on the full journey of living in this van today. And if you like it, let me know in the comments. Anyway, let's get back to the build. So a windowsill is going here. I've kind of put this for demonstrational purposes. It'll be screwed down into that, and we've got these little bits so it can rest on there without having to put an extra framing. Can't drill into the van. I'd have to glue some framing on there, which yeah, is not a major issue, but I think that will kind of work. If you've got a big block, I think it will work screwed in the side. I could be wrong. Maybe I'd still need to. I don't know exactly. But my point is, I was originally going to have ply here, but what I think I'm going to have instead, especially this other side, is the kitchen cabinets. I want to have probably like a dark wood colour, matching the kind of ceiling. And the enamel wood I use or whatnot, I would probably want to use the same wood for this. Or the other one is that there's a big or here, or the kitchen worktop enamel stuff. Then maybe I would want to use that here and have like the same material as that, and then have the kitchen enamel color over this. I don't know if that made any sense. I tried to explain it. So look at all these windows. You gotta love these windows, don't you? And all this natural light. It's beautiful, beautiful. Today we've done the frame on this side as well. Today I'm I've done the installation there. I'm gonna probably do a little bit of the framing there, maybe some framing over this bit, and maybe figure out what I'm gonna do with this bit here. That, ladies and gents, is the situation. However, there is something at the back of all of our minds, and that is the skylight still leaking or is it fixed? I guess we're only going to find out in time, so maybe we should check out the skylight first. It did rain recently, and it does seem to be holding now. It opens like that. You can also you can actually rest it down on these bits. Just letting a bit of subtle air. And then you can also, if you wanted to, you can lock it with these side bits, so you could have it slightly up if you want to let in a very, very small breeze, like that. And yeah, obviously this is where the bed is, so it just means that you got that nice little morning light. There is the skylight. Now all of our minds have been put to ease. It's back to the framing of this wall. As you can see, it is starting to come along, and we are getting it to match the other side. The only problem is now I'm getting to the trickier areas, like this part, the ceiling for example. It does curve down, and I don't really know how I am going to make it work. But again, that's a future problem. Let me just try and do as many of the tasks I can do that I don't need to think about. So I'm just adding the framing to match the other side. This framing will hold the wall up in place, and it will help support the overhead storage, although not the full weight of the overhead storage will be relying on these beams. I will be using some riv nuts in the metal for that extra weight. So here you can see where I'm trying to figure out what to do on this part of the ceiling. It's just not really an obvious solution, as it just curves right down. I don't know whether to extend the wall, extend the ceiling, go for a curved ceiling, or I just can't figure it out just yet. That's definitely something to sleep on. But as I'm starting to get to the end of the day, I'm getting a little bit hungry, and that steak I'm thinking about cooking is getting closer and closer. So I start to think about packing up and preparing for the steak. But first, obviously, we have to go buy it. We are about to go get a steak. We're going to cook a steak in the van. Now I head to Tesco's to get my steak. I'd just like to clarify, this isn't an everyday meal. I just decided to treat myself today. But if you want to see more of the life side of living in the van, let me know in the comments if you enjoy this part of the content, and I'll definitely look to add more of it in. So now I'm back, let's have a little look what I got. Here he is. So I've got plenty. Then I got this steak, a ribeye steak. And then I got some water. Low, 50 miles to empty. Damn it. So now I'm just going to go to a close by area where I can park up and then cook the steak. So I just prepare everything. I get out my little cooker, I get out my pan, I rest the steak. I've also got some salt and pepper just to season the steak. I tried to let it rest, but however, we do have a bit of an issue with the fact that it's a little bit cold. But anyway, I'm going to try my best and let's see how it turns out. Alright, here we go.
Get Stevie a carpenter belt with all the pockets.
Oh, that smells good. Oh, I forgot to time it. That was probably about 30 seconds.
Check out. 73 says we see it. One routine says medium rare wolfhound.
I don't know if that was hot enough to get going or what. This is purely winging it. Mm. Right, okay. So it's just about ready, I think. So let's now test it. Ah, so it's overcooked. It's overcooked a bit, but not bad. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to eat it. Just it's only a little bit overcooked. It's really hard to cook as well because I'm out in. It is actually quite cold. It's not room temperature, which does make quite a big difference. Well, I feel like I'm not really going to let it rest because it's just going to get cold real quick. But it's actually not too bad. No. Pretty good though. So overall, not too bad for my first attempt at a steak in the van. I'm sure once I have everything installed, I can make it work better. And unfortunately, we're starting to lose light now. So once I've finished the steak, I just tidy up a little bit, the best I can. And then it's time to head out and find a place to sleep for the night. So now I've found a place, parked up and pumping up the airbed. I'm also looking to cover all the windows just because obviously I don't want random people looking in and I want some form of privacy. And next it's then time to build the bed. And on a separate note, I've been thinking about a small change to the videos. So I've decided I was going to go back to doing more daily vlogs, so not just about the van progress, but also kind of daily vlogs. You can see what's going on. So I'm just having a bit of a nightmare because this is falling down, which is just stressing me out. And I'm having a problem. So I put this frame on today, or yesterday actually, and I didn't notice at the time, where that frame goes on, it means it pushes against this and it doesn't allow the bed to sit on properly. So none of the slats fit in their little designated slot. So I'm going to have to make changes. So I'm just going to take this off so I can make the bed, tidy up in here, relieve some of the stress, and then get some of the edits done. And it's falling down again. And now this, there we go. And now I bet it all slots in perfectly. Thank you. So now that little hiccup is solved, I can now make the bed properly and prepare myself to go to bed. Luckily it's not too cold, so I can take my jumper off at night tonight. I do a little bit of cleaning, making the environment a little bit less stressful. Packed away my rubbish, had some water, and then obviously now it's time for bed. So I've got this blanket covering the window. I have that covering that window, that covering that window, and then of course at the front, all of that covering all that. This is a good time to test the leak. This is very risky because it's raining, and if the skylight isn't watertight, then I'm probably going to get wet in the middle of the night. So stay tuned and find out in tomorrow's video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. Peace out.